freezing time to the most satisfying whirlpool. Here are the most insane Minecraft experiments. Oh my gosh, this is so satisfying. If you summon armor stands at the four corners of a whirlpool, they will slowly drift inward until they meet at the center. As they converge, they form a perfect circular pattern. And once you turn off the command blocks, the spawning stops, leaving the final armor stands to flow to the middle, where they neatly gather in a surprisingly organized way. How many layers of tinted glass can we actually see through? With one layer, it's no problem. The fire on the other side is still glowing bright. At 2 layers, it's a little foggier, but still not too bad. By the time we stack 4 layers, the fire is starting to fade into shadows. At 6, you can barely see the fire at the other side. Once you reach 8 layer, you can very faintly see the fire pixels moving. Finally, at 9 layer, the fire is gone. It's completely swallowed up by the darkness. Do you know what this is? This is exactly what happens when you spawn 100 of items in the exact same spot with command blocks. All their animations overlap, merging into a single wobbling mass. That looks super trippy. Here's what it looks like with golden axes, ender pearls, amethyst crystals, and diamonds. It's mesmerizing, but also insanely laggy. Will piglins attack copper golem if they open their chest? Normally, if a player so as touches a chest near piglins, they will get angry right away. But if you spawn a copper golem and let it do the sorting, the piglins won't attack it. What funny is that when copper golems were first tested in early bedrock previews, the piglins did actually see them as thieves and would swarm the poor golem the moment it tried to open a chest. By generating a custom super flat world, we can make infinite surface of a skull sensor, which looks really trippy. They activate with every step and create this wavy circle anything around that moves. Wherever your arrow lands, whenever you place or break a block. It's awesome. Can you grow a pumpkin into an iron golem to spawn it? While it sounds like it could work, it's actually impossible for 2 reasons. First, pumpkin cannot grow on top of iron blocks at all. And second, even if they did, the pumpkin that grows would just be a regular one, whereas an iron golem can only be created with a carved pumpkin. If we use command to summon this enderman with a boat on it, we are actually able to ride it. And better yet, whenever the enderman teleports, we get teleported along with it, meaning he can be our personal teleporting taxi or cab. Although you can't exactly tell him where to go, you're kind of just along for the ride. Yeah, my base isn't in this direction, buddy. Check this out. I have got 2 pistons extended on the same slime block. If I turn them both off at the exact same time, which way will the slime block go? Left or right? Or just stay in the middle? Surprisingly, the slime block doesn't get stuck at all. It always gets pulled to the right side. However, Minecraft Redstone is locational, meaning redstone behave depending on the coordinates in the world. So if I rebuild the setup somewhere else, the slime block might shift to the left instead. This is so weird. Endermans have ultra instinct. If you try to shoot an enderman with an arrow, it just teleports away and takes no damage. So imagine trapping one on a tiny island, firing endless arrows from above. It will keep frantically teleporting around to dodge them, which looks quite funny. But what if it shrunk the island down to a single block, leaving the enderman nowhere to go? Turns out the arrows still can't touch it. They just bounce right off. Check out this tiny sleeping villager. With the attribute command, you can shrink the villager while it's lying in the bed, and the results are super funny. At 0.5 scale, the villager looks just like a baby villager taking a nap. Shrinking it to 0.2 scale, and it starts looking like a little action figure. Drop it down to 0.1 scale, and it's so small you can barely even see it. And if you go all the way to 0.01 scale, the villager turns into nothing more than a speck of dust, something you might actually slip on yourself. Oops. When a sand block is being pushed or pulled by a piston, it's briefly not affected by gravity. So can we make a redstone machine that moves so fast that sand never falls? As it turns out, we can. By using this trick with a sticky piston and 2 observers to create a super fast redstone clock, we can power our piston so quickly, the sand doesn't even have time to realize it's hovering in the air. Wow, we have broken Minecraft's physics. I just made the best tool in Minecraft, but what is it exactly? Well, it's not just one item. It's actually a stack of many items combined together. Place several armor stands on blocks, each holding a different item. Then break the blocks so the stand will fall onto the same spot to create a super cursed multi-monstrosity that looks like the ultimate weapon in Minecraft. If you threw an invisibility potion at a shulker, the outer shell would vanish, but its creepy little face stayed visible. By spawning 3 of them on top of soul sand and making them invisible, you could make what looked like an bizarre bootleg wither. But in version 1.21.2, Mojang patched this. Now when shulkers turn invisible, their entire body disappears. So no more floating faces. This zombie has negative 100 IQ. If you build a small house with just 1 block tall wall, put a villager inside with a bed, and add a door. Then spawn a zombie outside. The zombie will first try to climb over the wall to get in. But if you punch the zombie so it turns to face the door, something strange happens. Instead of climbing the wall like before, the zombie will lock onto the door and endlessly try to walk through it, completely ignoring the blocks around it. You can literally break every block of the house so only the door is left, and the zombie will still keep staring at it with its arms raised up. It's like once it faces a door, its entire brain just turns off. When an end portal filled with end portals actually work, if you have giant slab of end portal frames, fill every slot with Eye of Ender and then place the final eye on the edge, the portals in middle get deleted and the portal is open. Start by placing 4 water source blocks so that all the streams flow towards the center. Next, use a command block to repeatedly summon a bunch of armor stands, each wearing a golden helmet. As soon as they spawn, the water currents carry them straight into the center. The result is a super satisfying flow of armor stands, all converging perfectly in the middle where they will spin in the whirlpool. Just be careful of the lag though. If you create a grid of piston and skull sensor, then fire a single arrow into it, you will create a super unique pattern. That makes me happy. It looks super satisfying. But you can even throw snowballs around to mix up the pattern shape. Oh, it's beautiful. Can you use a piston to place the final block of Inwither? If you build the body, place the skull first and then try pushing the last soul sand block with a piston, the Wither won't spawn because the skulls always needs to be placed last to spawn. Alright, if you try pushing the final Wither skull with a piston instead, that doesn't work either. The piston just breaks the skull. The trick is to use a dispenser. If you put the last skull inside and dispense onto the soul sand, the Wither will successfully spawn. If you summon a bunch of squids into the exact same block, their tentacles all overlap and form this really cool star-shaped pattern. You can try the same thing with glow squids and the result is even more stunning. The glowing tentacles create a bright radiant star. What's interesting is that this stack of squid doesn't behave the way you expected. You can actually push the whole cluster around without it breaking apart. But here's the best part. If you mix normal squids and glow squids in the same block, their tentacles blend together, creating a glowing multicolored star pattern. Is this block 3D or 2D? At first, it looks like there's a floating note block in the corner of the room, but something feels off. When you walk backwards, it even looks stranger, almost like it's not supposed to be there, but it's actually just an illusion. Get closer and you will see it's just 3 note blocks, cleverly placed in the walls and ceiling, tricking your eyes into seeing a floating cube. Regular stained glass lets sunlight through, which means zombies and skeleton burns just like normal. Only tinted glass is able to protect undead monsters from the sun. But what if you stack stained glasses over and over until it's so dark you can't even see through it? Surely that should block the sun, right? Well, even after piling up more than 20 layers, leaving nothing behind but a pitch black void, the zombies still burn. No matter how many layers you use, stained glass will never stop the sunlight. All that glass completely wasted. Can a wolf teleport over the world border? The world border normally can't be crossed. Even if you use cheats to go over, you can't really place any blocks or do anything. If you swap back to survival mode here, you will start taking damage. But what about a tamed wolf? Will it teleport to you if you go outside the border? The answer is yes. And the best part? Mobs don't take border damage. So while you are slowly dying, your fluffy little buddy will be completely fine.